you guys. Sup, y'all. It's your sugar. And so it's 7:30. Well, 7:30-ish on a Wednesday night. So you already know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, I'll tell you what it is. It's time for the Sugar Show. Natalie Sugar Brown. Okay, in the building. My face is in the place. And this is my platform to talk with you all out there about women's boxing. And, I think I'm the person to do it. Okay, I am a female pugilist, a woman pugilist. Okay, I grew up in the game from a young girl to a grown woman into an old crone. Okay, I know the business, okay? And sometimes a lot of the stuff gets lost in translation. And on this platform, the Natalie Sugar Brown Show is where everybody can come and ask questions and talk that talk about women's boxing. Yeah. And so, there's a no judgment zone here. But I will tell you this, we tend to behave badly, right? Because Sugar's just that type of gal, okay? I like to be naughty and I like to behave badly. So yes, this is the Sugar Show. And the thing is, I always tell you guys, you don't have to know about women's boxing. You don't have to know the facts. You don't have to know, the numbers, because Sugar will get a name wrong. Sugar might get a number wrong, but Sugar knows her stuff, okay? Sugar know how this thing go. So listen to the talk. Tonight we got some stuff brewing. Tonight we there's some happenings on, and I wanted to discuss that. So the title is Smells Like Okie-Doke. Yes, the stench of Okie-Doke is in the air. Okay. And so we're gonna start off. My lovely assistant and put together a slideshow. And let's see what the first slide is, so Sugar can talk about this. I don't know how long the show gonna be tonight, but we got some stuff to talk about. Lovely assistant, come on, hit me. You know what? It's like they know they is y'all know, don't it's I don't know. It's always a little bit rougher when you make a woman wait. Okay, so don't make me wait too long. Don't do that. So before my lovely assistant hits me with the first image, I wanna go more into what the conversations are, or what the conversations surrounding women's boxing is, right? So the conversations, like I always say before, it's not about the number, it's not about the record, it's really something. I wouldn't even want to say it's not about the wins or the losses. It's about if you like the broad or not. I always say it. Why? Especially now. Because I was chatting with some women's boxing folk the other day. And we all had to come to an agreement to where we understood now what the climate of the industry is. Okay. And the climate of the industry is, it's all about the golden rule. Whoever got the goal makes the rules. And what we want to bring that thing back to how it used to be, right? How it used to be, where you didn't, no one was going to buy your way into the dance. You had to get freaky on the dance floor, if you know what I mean. to get your name on the ticket, and to get, and to get on dancing. You had to step up and fight, right? And instead of now, you jumping over heads and you buying your way to a championship. That's no fun, and there's no longevity in that. Okay? And so that's where sugar always stands, right? Sugar comes from the old school. I am a crone, okay? Um and I came up hard. I'm the generation. I'm a couple generations before these broads now who are making that bank, right? But they making the bank, and they ain't working like how we used to do, right? So people feel like Suge is bitter, or Sugar's hating on these youngins out here, and it's not. The platform here is that I want to give everyone an opportunity to step up and and be able to have a non-judgmental conversation about how they feel, what's going on, what they want to see. The women that are behaving badly, and the ones who are not authentically bad out there, but now they got the hard work, not hard work, the hardware, um to so-called say that they the baddest. Now it looks like my lovely assistant got the slideshow working, so slide on in, slide it on up here, lovely assistant. Okay, so wait a minute. We can't twin. Yeah, but we got to get the twin in images. Now look at this. I had to start off with this. Okay, I had to start off with this image. Look at this now. I'm gonna read it to y'all. All right, so we all know that Taylor Serrano 2 was coming out. 2 is like, it's like, after you watch Jaws 1, you already knew, I guess, Jaws 2 was finna come out, right? Night on Elm Street you already know the sequel coming, which is really corny and lame, right? Because we don't want to turn women's boxing into a soap opera, which is what predated rematches are, a soap opera, right? You want to build it where, yes, there will be a rematch, but you want to build it to where there's a bit of drama in between the sequel, which they didn't give. And before they announced this part 2, they really didn't give enough time for the sequel to happen. But I guess now, with the Okie-Doke in the air, I'm going to read this to you. It says, due to an injury sustained by Amanda Serrano, Matchroom Boxing and Most Valuable Promotions regret to announce that the Taylor Serrano 2 bout on May 20th in Dublin, Ireland, that is, will not go ahead as planned. The teams are in discussions about finding a revised date for the bout. Further details will follow in due course. Oh, that Okie-Doke stank. Yeah, boy. All right, so let's read between the lines on this. Okay. Now, y'all know Amanda just had a real tough fight with Erica Cruz. Erica came in and banged her up, even though she drew some blood with Erica. What I loved about the fight was that Erica left her mark in the ring. And I mean, that's what you got to do with a fighter like this, right? With a fighter who's on some prepaid nonsense, right? Um, Erica been in this game long enough to know that if it went to decision, she wasn't going to come out with the grace. But Erica, being the fighter that she is, knew that she was going to go in that ring and tear her ass up. Yes, she's going to bust her up, bust Serrano up enough for Serrano to not be very well moving forward, which looks like the case. But I also think this. I also think because Serrano drew such a tough opponent, I mean, drew a fight and an opponent who was tougher than she thought, because you saw it in the fight where Amanda um, had to dig deep and perform and finish the fight without finish the fight in a performance that wouldn't be questioned. Okay, so yeah, she had to dig deep. She had to get down in the trenches and come through with that win. The thing about it is, okay, fights like those take something out of you, right? And in order for her to now turn around and be well enough for another high end type of performance, she would need a little bit more time. Okay. Otherwise, you never know what the remnants of the previous fight. You never know what the remnants of that previous fight might do to you if you have another hard fight back to back. And I understand Amanda may have felt you know, may have felt like she was King Kong and that she could take on the she could take on bigger bites, but reality, I think reality kicked in to where she and Jordan and them, because she ain't talking to nobody. She ain't talking on the cell phone. So she must have been talking to herself, and she was like, "Self, that was tougher than I thought, and I ain't ready for another tough one." Right? And so this injury manifests, right? Ain't no injury. That's number one. And number two, um, the thing about Amanda coming out of a fight like that to fight Katie Taylor again, they're gonna say, we need more money. We need more money for that. So now with it, um, in this, in this spiel on the side right here where it says, the teams are in discussions about finding a revised date for the bout. Um, it's not about finding a revised date now. They got to make this contract all over again, right? So stuff has to be renegotiated. If they're talking about revised that a date, I don't know. I don't think it was like where was it Marshall who tried to pull this same thing when she was before she was gonna fight Clarissa. I'm not sure if it's one of those as more so. I think it's more now they see that Amanda has a bit more leverage in the situation, and they want to get more out of more paper out of what's going on than what they initially agreed on. So it's some Okie-Doke there, and I don't know unless some real good drama happens in between this thing, I'm not sure if everyone's going to be all hype again to see Taylor versus Serrano part 2. Right? The longer they let this thing, to me, the longer they let this thing drag out. Um, the I think the less momentum, uh, I think the less momentum there will be, and you know that the less heat there's going to be bubbling under this pot. So smells like Okie-Doke to me. I don't know if I don't know if they'll be able to keep the excitement. Maybe, because it's, Amanda already left the stage, right, with this fight versus Erica Cruz. She left the stage, and it was a good show. Right now it's Katie's turn. Now it's Katie's turn to get, to get real naughty in there, and to show us why we want to see these two behave badly together again in in a grand super fight, right? Like how it was before. Y'all tell me, right? Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. I think they've got to find somebody, and they've got to find somebody. They got to pull somebody out of the you know out of the air to be a dangerous contender, a contender now that's worth Katie Taylor fighting and slaying in order to get back to this Amanda Serrano thing, right? So I think they've talked themselves into a corner. They've hyped themselves into a corner, and they're gonna have to they're going to have to make some excitement to build it back up. Hey, Mike. So Michael Orr checks in, talking about, hey, sugar. Hey, Mike. It's a cash grab. Okay. It is a cash grab. If you're talking about, they want more money, right? And they not trying to be funny either about that money, right? They want more money. That's really what that is. So Michael Orr says Serrano suffered an undisclosed injury. Um, Michael Orr says sounds like someone isn't ready. Who you? So Mike, let's talk now. Who's not ready? Tell me who's not ready, right? And that was Katie. I mean, has Katie fought since her and Amanda fought? I don't think so. Oh, Mike comes in and says he doesn't think Katie Taylor's ready. Now, this is the thing, though. I mean, you're right, because it's don't nothing move but the money, and they really could have even paid Serrano to step back, right? And they could have paid for this story, right? Because you could pay. It's women's boxing, so you can pay for these. You could pay for these sagas now. Um, Now, this is the thing, though. This is they're making big money. So how could you can't play? This is where I'm coming from with women's boxing, right? We're not at the place yet where you can do this bullshit, right? You can't play these games. You can't not be ready. How are you not ready? Either Katie Taylor or they're like, Katie, if you think if it is indeed what it is, how could Katie Taylor not be ready? Right? This is what you do for a living. You box for a living. Okay? You're not even on some superhero time, right? You work a real job by day and you do superhero shit by night. You are Katie Taylor, the boxer, every damn day. How you ain't gonna be ready? Right? You should be ready tomorrow. Right? You hadn't fought since the summertime, right? And granted, maybe she does feel rusty. Maybe, it's been some time. Uh, but now would be the time for Taylor to fight Serrano again, right? Because Serrano just came out of a war, right? So now you want that. You want, especially if you've been resting. She's been resting for, damn near half. When did she fight her? Was it July or August? Sometime around then, It's been a while. It's been damn near half a year, right? More or less. If you're rounding the decimal up, you know what I'm saying? Um, this is the time. Michael Orr says the GAA say Matchroom's refusal to cover security costs were the stumbling block, which prevented Katie Taylor's rematch with Amanda. The GAA refused to cover security costs. So what does that mean? Katie Taylor demanded security, and they weren't going to cover maybe her personal group of bodyguards to come and pay for their tickets and fly them in and all that stuff. Like, it's all shenanigans this way, but one way or another, right? This is women's boxing. One way or another, this is women's boxing. Bitch, forget your security, because we ain't never had no security. There are broads flying in to different countries with with they gym bag, and they finna hire somebody to work their corner fight night. Right? Sometimes they flying in day of by their damn self. And you want to cancel a big super fight because ain't nobody covering security costs? Bitch, I'll work your security. Just come on, no, I'll work your security. Please. Please. She ain't president or prime minister. Ain't nobody checking for Katie Taylor. Right? So that's lame. The people want to see people it fight. So I hope that's not the issue, right? Because that smells like some real Okie-Doke. That thing stank. Michael Orr says this was in the news 4 weeks ago. This is the article. Okay, so I mean, it's the buzz now. Like, now it's now that women's boxing, they really talking about it out here in the field, because it looks like it's really off, right? Where before, big fights don't get delayed in women's boxing. Big fights don't get put off, so to speak, right? You said it, Mike, before, right? You like women's boxing, or y'all like the way y'all like it, that when how we do it over here, because there's no bullshit in the negotiations, where it looks like it's starting. It looks like it's starting, right? So I mean, 4 weeks ago, it could have been 4 minutes ago. It's still bullshit. Michael Orr says, and now all of a sudden, Serrano has an undisclosed industry. Child, please. Please. So first, Taylor, Matchroom's refusing to cover security costs is the issue, and now she has an undisclosed injury, and Serrano's the one that's pulling injury. Next, we ain't got time for that bullshit. Who's the next star? And this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm against celebrity female boxers. I hate that it's turned into a celebrity thing, right? Because if it was about, if we really wanted to be like the men's, or if we was really like the men's, right, there'd be another great fighter in the wings that would now take over, and we'd be hyped to see fight. That's how that works, right? Now, oh, we're waiting until somebody get right. We're waiting. You got the damn, please, it ain't gonna be me. I look at these two. Look at the faces of these two bras. I said, I'm sorry, and I'm a woman too, right? Ain't none of these bras on this damn picture fine enough for me to wait on not a damn one of them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I ain't finna wait on on two broads who look like some teenage boys. Next, make up, make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? Uh, try Jesus, not me. Um, and so yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. And Michael, thank you for chiming in and talking with Suge about this. It's we'll see how this thing turn out. I'm not really that excited whether it happens or not. I saw the first one. It's like I would be more excited if Katie Taylor fought Erica Cruz, right? It'd be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Serrano fell out, but who's taking off? Who's gonna take Serrano's spot? Erica Cruz? God, yes, take my money. That sounds good. Like I would love to see how Katie Taylor um track star do her track star thing with Erica Cruz. That would be interesting, right? So they're not even saying anything like that, right? They just pull in the fight, please. Um, Michael Orr says it's going to look like the last fight. That's what I think. And like I said, and it wasn't even Erica Cruz left her mark in the ring because who Katie Taylor going to get to outdo a fight an opponent, not even an opponent, a contender like Erica Cruz, because Serrano, she'd have to outdo Serrano's previous most recent opponent, right? She'd rather say, oh, I'm not fighting at all. I guess May 20th is still like you should have been. Taylor should have been getting ready for that. So one monkey don't stop the show, right? Like the old folks say, like my coach Jerome used to say, one monkey ain't gonna stop the show, right? So Amanda ain't fighting on the 20th. Taylor, bring somebody up, put some money in somebody else's pocket. This is women's boxing. Michael Orr says maybe Serrano wins on points this time, so we see a trilogy. Come on now. Like, do you want to see that 3 times? You know what I'm saying? Michael Orr says there's no one else. Everyone else in the wings. What do you mean everyone else in the wings, Michael? Like, you know what I'm saying? Katie is not even budging from that weight class. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to go on and pull Bumgardner up from the little weight up to Katie damn weight. So Bumgardner will fight Taylor. And then she going for it from what I heard. Well, that's the thing too. All of these, I mean, these broads out here, they don't even have the gift of gab no more to talk no talk, right? I'll be happy to fight her. I'll be happy. I'd have been like, I'm not fighting that bitch. She's too big. At least I would say that. Make it seem like, oh, I don't want the smoke. And then all of a sudden sign for the smoke. That's how you pull people in. Right? Alicia, fake like you scared. Right? Because you want somebody that they don't know how to play the game, right? You want somebody to feel like they have the upper hand. So now you put the bait in, they'll bite. Now you have a fight. Right? Now you, but I'll fight her, and she's welcome. We can do it anywhere. Well, bitch, please. Like, I want some foreplay. Talk to me dirty first. This is women behaving badly. Okay, this ain't Girl Scouts. Um, Michael Orr says there's only up and comers in the wings, and they won't even let those broads mature yet, right? But we got something coming, right? But these celebrity, these promoters who don't really give a shit about women's boxing make these celebrity broads who are selfish. Yes, I'm saying it. Who are selfish as hell and won't bring no other contenders up under from up with them, right? So you being selfish, now you're the queen, and you sitting on what kind of throne? The toilet, right? Because you want some Okie-Doke now. You waiting for somebody to ripen up, to get good enough for you to make some money, right? Because you're only as valuable as your opposition. That's how boxing works, right? You're not gonna. It ain't about you, boo boo. It ain't just you, right? And you got to the pictures. Like, after a while, the public's gonna see, right? You have to have an authentic, organic bad bitch grown up out of the ground, coming up out of the wherever she is. She's coming from, to make a story or some drama interesting enough for us to want to put that money on it. Michael Orr says promoters are not willing to lose their cash cows. Promote, tell me, make it make sense, boo boo. Promoters are not willing to lose their cash cows. It ain't, but so you want to have the one damn cash cow? I would have a herd of damn cash cows, right? Everybody can make $1 in this business, right? It's stupid, right? Look at Top Rank, Golden Boy, Don King, all of them. They promoted many great. They promoted the champions, and they promoted the great contenders under the champions, right? So anyone could get it. Everybody's making money. Everybody has the opportunity to make money. You have one celebrity female boxer. She's a celebrity. She's not even a great fighter. She's not even a fighter that's legitimately, built. She's a celebrity because you put her on the stage, right? So she's not your cash cow, right? You're gonna have to make something so she can make you money. That's not how it ever works. And Michael Orr says you're only as valuable as your last win. Michael Orr also says, me too. I'd have a stable of killers, right? And about my father's business, hey, you. Says, what's up, sugar? What's up, you? It's been a while. Where you been at? About my father's business, where you been at? Huh? Tell me what you've been doing out here. Michael Orr says, I pull my stable out the gutter. Real fighters. That's what I'm saying. Mike, you got a point there. Let me get some of this, what I'm drinking tonight. So, yeah, like Mike said, I'd have some killers, some killer winners, some killer losers, some killer journey women, some killer gatekeepers. I keep it interesting out here. It ain't about, that celebrity female fighter shit is old. It's dated. It's so old, right? The early 2000s, when did it happen? It was when, the Christy Martin, it was that Christy Martin um stint, because there were great fighters before Christy Martin, but Christy Martin was the first celebrity woman fighter. Yeah, right. She was the first one to hit that celebrity thing, right? And then after that, Lucia Riker came in with the whole celebrity thing, right? Because, every superhero needs a villain and vice versa. So I don't know who you would pick to be the hero and the villain, but it was Chrissy Martin and Lucia Riker, right? That's when that celebrity bullshit hit. And now it just got real corny after. Um Michael Orr says, like I find for my show. Yeah, right. And y'all need to check Mike's show out. I think it's 4 o'clock on Fridays, right? Mike's always uh previewing and interviewing an up and comer. He love him hungry, right? And he's always giving them a chance to sell themselves on his show. Fridays at 4. Check him out. I think it's called Female Fridays. Mike, I got some heavies that I want you to feature, Mike. I got look like they trying to put money into this heavyweight division, right? And I want you to feature these heavies. They got some first going on, okay? And you know what? I'm excited. I like female heavyweight. These little broads, you know what I'm saying? These middleweight broads or whatever. I guess it's cute. I want to see some big bitches get down. I don't know. So you know what I'm saying? Shit is different. I like to see women behaving badly. Right? That's my thing. That's my jam. It's what gets me on my. Let me stop. Y'all stop that. Um, and so let's see. About my father's business, talking about trying to get to the money. Listen, it and you already know, right? Been there, done that. We know each other, right? About my father's business. It ain't about chasing the money. You gotta let that money come to you. Right? When you chase the money, you ain't never going to catch it. That's the one thing for y'all out there too, right? Don't chase the money. Let the money come to you. Okay? Um Michael Orr says, I might have to start Knuckle Up Promotions. I don't know why you ain't started it yet, Mike. That sounds good too. I like it. Knuckle Up Promotions. Where you was at when Sugar was fighting? Where you was at when I was making knuckle sandwiches, Mike? I would have loved to fight on you. I would have loved to be, a part of your stable on one of your promotions. Bon Wee Wee. Oh no, Bon Quee Quee. Hey, Bon Quee Quee. Okay, so you done tuned in, and what? Hey, is that a sexy man or a sexy girl? I'm looking at your avatar, Bon Quee Quee. And you got some sexiness going on one way or the other. Hey. So Bon Quee Quee says salute. Salute, sexy. They said I got Taylor winning by DQ. That was pretty cute. Bon Quee Quee said uh, they got Taylor winning by disqualification. You done listen. I like it when I like it when y'all make me laugh too. I'm one of them. I like to laugh. So Michael Orr says, Michael Orr plug-in. He plug-in at his time. So Michael Orr says 4 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Oh, you do it on Wednesday too? I didn't know you do it on Wednesdays. Okay, Mike. So Mike do it on Wednesdays too. Monday and Wednesday. He features these hungry broads out here. I ain't got time for a hungry bitch. but a bad bitch now, you get my time. But Mike's talking to these hungry gals out here, these females. So check him out. Cedric Sports Trainer says, "Good evening, champ. Just checking in." And said, I like it when you check me. Checkmate. Thanks for checking in, Seti. Yo, what's good with you over there? What's going on, General? Huh? Tell me who you working with, who you working on. And I know you got your show going on too. I be trying to catch these are my mans out here, right? Cedric is a great general out here. He trains some of the elite amateur talent in Canada, and he's even gone overseas, and showcased our talent. Great general in the game. He knows his stuff, and he also has a segment here on our platform, Talking Fight. So check him out. Seti, drop me your time so I could plug you, and I hope y'all plugging Sugar on y'all segments too. Show me some love, right? I like to be loved. So Michael Orr says, let's profile them. All right, Mike, you said it. So I want you to profile my heavies, right? Yeah, like these big bitches got to make money out here too, and they behave. I love it when some big broads rumble. Yeah, it's some drama. I like the drama and that. The little ones, they cute, but ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like some big broad, some yammer lambs in there getting it crunk. So Bonquiqui said, oh, Michael Orr said, yo, Cedric, what's good? And then Bonquiqui said, yo, that's the homie Cedric. Okay, so yeah, we excited about Seti dropping in. Let me tell you, like when these guys drop in on the Sugar platform, it's love, right? Because I think time is the most valuable thing. That's why they put money to it, right? When they take the time to come check your gal Sugar, that's more valuable than money. I got your time. So Bonquiqui said, my homie too. And Bonquiqui says, Cedric. So Bonquiqui really like you, Seti. All right, things are going for you. Yeah. Mana, big you up, Seti. Sounds good. And so Michael Orr said, I smashed my phone and been off the grid. Mike, you out there rough and tumbling with somebody else, and you know how jealous Sugar get. How she break your cell phone? Listen, don't do that. Made me have to find these people out here. You want to fix my baby? You want to fix my Mike's cell phone too? I can't handle him off the grid. About My Father's Business comes in and says female heavyweights would be interesting, right? It ain't even would be. I've grown in this industry, right? The female heavies they the ones to watch, just like the heavyweight men. It's a way that a big bitch fight. I'm telling you, right? That shit is poetry in motion, right? She use her body, she use her hands, she bumping, she doing all that stuff that the little ones ain't doing. It's the art. It's a performance. It's women behaving badly. And I want y'all to be interested in it, in watching women of all different shapes, sizes, colors behave badly. It's fun. And so Michael Orr says, hi, Bonquiqui. And Bonquiqui said, hi, Michael Orr, with the salute. Okay, and Bonquiqui says, I appreciate it. Monqueefy, I like that you stopped in, and I like that you dropping in and giving all my guys the love, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out all everybody on the grid, on the thread. Shout out everybody on the thread, right? It looked like we having a little party tonight, and I'm feeling the vibes. I like it. I like it. Um, Eddie Barrington, Eddie, you're here. Talking about good. Yes, yes. And Eddie Barrington gives me my roses. Oh, so you know you coming in, you know how to start it off, don't you, Eddie? Don't you? Listen, you getting me all you in trouble, right? Let you don't make me have to run around the corner and come get you, right? Right? Because I got a lot of stuff. I got things that I plan, right? And all I need is a willing participant, if you know what I mean. Cedric Sports says, much respect, Sugar. Thanks for the shout out, for sure. And thanks for, always stopping in and respecting your girl, Suge. Said he is always going to be here, right? Uh Suge stingy with that stuff, right? Should don't really fudge with a lot of these so-called people in the game, right? Because Suge know the real from the fakes, right? And Seti, you one of them guys. You kind of real out here. I like what you're doing. Mike too. No, all my guys. Graham know his stuff, right? Tim, right? My guys, I love y'all. Um, so the host comes in. I think is this for Seti? I think Seti's segment is Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Y'all check him out. Okay, it's called the scorecard. Yes. So that's what SETI do. SETI run down them numbers, right? And SETI will walk you through the scores of a fight, so y'all understand, and y'all may be able to score rounds, which is another art that's being lost out here in the boxing game. And it ain't no game, but in the boxing industry. Um Bonquiqui says, Natalie, how do you feel about Devin Haney versus Hasbullah Magomedov at 140? This how I feel. Okay. Devin Haney takes, even though it seems Hasbullah seems to be like someone who's going to be scary. Devin Haney knows how to box, and he knows how to perform into a win, right? So I don't think, and then I'm hearing that Hasbullah is the midget kid. Okay, I always say this, right? Um, my guys out there know, the midget or not. Okay, he on this level. You right. Let me stop, y'all. I don't know what it's called, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. Y'all don't take it that. And don't try to cancel Sugar over no bullshit. Okay? Midget may not be the proper word. I think it's little people. Okay? And I do not take nothing from anyone, any particular shape, size, color, or gender. Okay? When it comes to behaving badly, everybody's got a fighting chance. Okay? And so that's what I'm saying. Okay? So you come for me about this. I've already said what I said, and I apologize. Little people is a politically correct term. Okay, it's not midget. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is this: Devin Haney is a boxer. He's a great boxer and he'll perform his way, right? The temperament wise, Devin Haney is a performer. He's a sanguine, okay, meaning he's gonna go out there and he's gonna razzle dazzle, and that's how he's gonna win. I want that little punk. Yeah, I'm gonna call him a punk. Why? Because this is the fight game. The fight game is about people stepping up to a challenge, a real challenge, right? I'm always comparing it. I grew up, I was a little sugar drop, right? When Ray Leonard and them was out, when the Fort Kangs, when heavyweights was heavyweights, you know what I'm saying? When boxing was boxing, I came up seeing that. I came up in the era where, I came up in the times where it wasn't, there was no games playing. Arturo Gotti, like, sorry, y'all. It was people out there willing to leave blood in the ring, right? And it's not that I'm blood hungry or anything like that, but when somebody's willing to shed blood for something, it's real. Okay. And so Devin Haney, I haven't seen where he's extended himself to a place where you would see that he's willing to shed that blood, right? Him going down to Australia. Oh, my daddy, I come down here by myself. Daddy, where you at? Like, the whole drama in that. I'm like, ain't this a grown ass man? Okay, he going to fight without his daddy in the corner. Okay, we do that. Women been doing. We do that. Other men do that. Why is this a story that his father couldn't get the visa or his papers to get down there? So this is the thing with Devin Haney. He may be a great young man, right? But when it comes to boxing and this boxing industry, I think he's hype, right? I think he's the when somebody do that wet fart. Well, you know what I'm saying? That and that's what he is with this Mayweather, with that Mayweather. Y'all remember the whole Mayweather vibe that was going through boxing and all the fighters that was all in with the whole Mayweather swag, right? I think he's at the tail end of that, right? He's the part of it, right? Because we not impressed otherwise. Like, y'all tell me what other part of Devin Haney are you impressed about? What impresses you about this kid, right? um I he's grown, but like he's grown enough, but he's still a kid. Like, remember, come on, let's talk boxing history, right? Who was the first? I mean, the one who was the youngest world champion. He became world champion at 17. Aside from Mike Tyson, who was the youngest heavyweight world champion. He fought Sugar Ray Leonard. What was this cat's name? He was out of Puerto Rico, right? We comparing like guys like Haney to these type of men. He was 17 years old, coming up in an era fighting grown ass, tough ass men, fighting 15 rounders. And I'm supposed to be impressed with anything Devin Haney, and for anything Garcia, but any of them have to do. Like, you got, I think, was it Garcia stepping back from a fight because he needs mental. We're all cracked. Everybody who does this, everyone who boxes, right, sugar include, we're all cracked up here, okay? In some way, shape, or form. We just find a way. We've just found a way to make our shtick work. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me going to jail for beating a bitch, I made money doing it. Right? That, now y'all see Sugar here, but Natalie, y'all talking to Sugar when y'all see on the Natalie Sugar Brown show. Natalie is a different lady, right? But Shug is a woman behaving badly, right? And she'd show up at times to where she would get Natalie in a whole lot of trouble. But that's for the memoir. Um, so I'm not really excited, and I don't really care about Devin. Haney fighting this guy. Hezbollah, Bonquiqui says Hezbollah has the power advantage for sure. I mean, you can have all the power in boxing, but if you don't know how to put it together, behind, you know, behind the science of boxing, which is to break your opponent down using, your using strikes, a combination of strikes. You could be as powerful as thunder, right? But if you can't put it together, you ain't gonna make much of a difference out here. um Eddie Barrington says, haha. Okay, so I don't know what you laughing at, Eddie. What you laughing at? Bonquiqui says Hasbula got the power advantage for sure. Eddie Barrington says 100. Bonquiqui says Eddie Barrington 100. Facts, bro. Michael Orr says Hasbula definitely has the height and reach advantage. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hasbula, now y'all gonna make me take out the phone, right? Because I don't know if I'm getting a real story about. Let's see, what's this man's name? Hasbula, boxer. Oh my gosh. Oh, now y'all got me. Besta Hasbula. Now I see who y'all talking about. Let me tell you something. So, is Devin Haney, is this a publicity stunt about Hasbula fighting Devin Haney? Let's see. I'm gonna Google it. Let's see. No. Okay, so I guess Bonquiqui, you're throwing shit out here. Okay, so it's the same thing that I was saying before. Okay, Devin Haney, right? He's the type of fighter where he hasn't really extended himself. So if this is a dream fight for you, Hasbula, the little man, versus Devin Haney, it still might be interesting. I think if y'all want to make a joke about it and laugh or whatever, this ain't the angle for it. But I think if we want to talk about a match between the two, um, I'm not gonna lie. When you're fighting, when you're fighting somebody outside of what the norm is, right? Say Devin Haney did take on Hasbula, right? Um, Hasbula has the because he's an unconventional variable in the ring in front of Haney. Hasbula can pull all the stops. He can do whatever he wants in there, right? And so that to me would make him dangerous because he's not the fighter. He's not the boxer. Devin Haney is. And Devin Haney would look bad if he did not dispatch this person in front of him um in an impressive way, right? Hasbullah could jump on him, bite his knees, do all that bullshit. But if Devin Haney as a fighter does not know how to manage this situation in front of him, and I don't know, I mean, y'all are going on the thread, but if Hashbullah, if he doesn't deal with Hashbullah in a way that is just as comical as the matchup, right, then he looks bad. So I don't know. I would ask you, Bon Qui, since you come in with the jokes, how do you think that bullshit might play out? Right? Since you got us thinking about it. How do you think that would play out? I mean, in my mind, I know what I would do if I was Hashbullah fighting somebody like Devin Haney. Yeah, because everybody has a fighter's chance, right? So I know what I would do, right? And then I know if I was Devin Haney, what I would do if somebody like Hashbullah was in front of me. And I'm not even going to lie to y'all, it's a joke, but it's really not a joke, because as a female fighter, I have been propositioned to have, strange fights like that, right? And there was a time that I would have even entertained doing that for the sake of being in the ring and performing, right? Because as a woman fighter, as a woman boxer, we used to have to make nothing into something, right? So shit, since Amanda Serrano fell out of the May 20th fight, they need to put Hashbullah in there with Katie Taylor and turn it into a real bullshit show, right? That's what I got to say about that. Now, and I'm sorry, I'm not even on social media like that, y'all. So like these people who these interesting people who are celebrities because of how interesting they are. I'm a cave woman. I'm too busy in the ramping shop, if y'all know what I mean, or trying to get in the ramping shop, and over chasing over or being minding a little person's business. You know what I'm saying? I'm too busy trying to get mines. So what else? Michael Orr says Hasbullah definitely has the height and reach advantage. Bon Quiqui says Abdu Rozik versus Terrence Crawford at 147 is also a solid fight. So I don't know who this is either. Abdu Rozik. Let me get the phone out because I want to be in on the jokes too. I'm sorry. Let's see. Is that Abdu ABDU? And this is a singer. Oh, so Bon Quiqui, it looked like you got a thing for the little people, right? Bon Quiqui, let me do some homework. What's a little woman what's a little woman matchup, right? Right? Bring it over to what's a little woman versus Clarissa Shields, or a little woman versus Katie Taylor, or a little woman versus any one of these celebrity broads out here, since you want to bring in the little people. Huh? Come on now. Make use of yourself, right? Because it's some popular little ladies, little women out here too that would be interested in interesting in a matchup with some of our champions. Bon Quiqui, go do some work. Hashbullah got the Deontay Wilder right hand, one hit and Haney goes down. That's not how I see it going though. Michael Orr also says, don't forget, Cedric and I host the Knockout of the Week at 4 p.m. on Sundays. Okay, so Sunday, y'all check in to Talk and Fight. Okay. Um, this Mike here plugging him and setting segments, and I hope don't make me don't make me behave badly now. Y'all better plug Sugar on y'all segment too. Y'all like, subscribe, and share, right? Like, subscribe, and share this Sugar. So Bonquiqui done gone into this Hashbula guy fighting Mike Tyson. I think the Hashbula joke needs to be laid to rest now. It's starting to be, when some shit gets, it's starting to dry up now, baby. Put it to rest. So yes, Michael Orr says Wilfredo Benitez. So that's what I was saying. So I guess in a sense, Bonquiqui has, uh, art has conveyed what I was saying. Like this boy might as well, Devin Haney might as well fight Hashbula, right? Because he's not stepping up to extend himself the way he should be for being a name in this industry, right? So Wilfredo Benitez was a monster at only 17 years old, fighting grown men and going 15 rounds at 3 minutes, right? He was, and this was at a time where you had to be a man to be in that ring. So, I mean, these young guys are not impressing me at all. But I guess things also have changed with the expectation of what fighting means, or what a fighter is supposed to be, or what that, what that entails, with the expectations of that. Like I said, when you have so-called ranked fighters, or top-rated fighters stepping out because of mental health issues, I mean, yeah, in this day and age, it is real, but mental health issues been there, right? But you're a fighter, right? So, you don't get that privilege. You're doing something that's already, you're doing something that's already considered, how could I say, I don't want to say unethical, but yes, you're assaulting another person, and it's a performance, right? So it's like you have to, in a sense, be mental, you and your team, to come together and make a plan to destroy someone else physically in front of an audience. That's what it is, right? So that's why I say we're all cracked in that sense, right? We're all cracked when we sign up to do this, because I'm expecting someone to do that to me, just like how I am training to do that to somebody, right? And some of us are better at it than others. So Michael Orr says his first fight of 3 career world titles in separate weight divisions at the age of 17. He's the best remembered he's best remembered as a skilled and aggressive fighter with exceptional defensive abilities. And so Michael Orr is talking about Wilfred Benitez. Okay, so this is a 17-year-old young man who is remembered in history for being this way, right? So I don't know who else is coming along, right, in this fight game that is of that caliber, I don't see any of these guys right now of that caliber, and he was 17 years old. Let's not get away from that. Okay? Prodigy. So Michael Orr also comes in with saying, along with his fights with Roberto Duran, this kid fought Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, he wasn't a kid at the, but this young man grew up in the time of monsters, like when dinosaurs were stepping through the industry, like not dinosaurs like old, but dinosaurs where everything was dangerous, right? And he was a youngster coming up in that, just like these other guys too. You know what I'm saying? That's impressive. That's something to talk about, you guys. Right? So we could joke around or not, we could joke around with these celebrity names, but if we want to talk, let's talk. Let's talk some real stuff, right? And then let the real jokes come through. Um Eddie Barrington says throwing shade. So I don't know who's throwing shade though, Eddie. Who's throwing shade? Bonquiqui said, Eddie Barrington, there are too many Hasbula fighters, bro. And they there, okay, Hasbula. So Bonquiqui has this thing with Hasbula, and we going to allow you to get that out your system, but Sugar's over it. So let's go through. So lovely assistant, let's get on to the next image on the next image. Lovely assistant, right? So look at this. And one of my guys who hasn't showed up in a bit, but loves this fighter, Sandy Ryan. Okay, so I found it interesting that I get to talk about this fighter now, because at 5 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws, Sandy Ryan will be fighting for the vacant WBO welterweight title, right? The World Boxing Organization, right? So this is like a real belt, right? With 6 fights. So this broad, Sandy Ryan, is sub 10 and is fighting for a world title. This is a world title that people with double digits have held, right? And has going for, and this is a title, right, that contenders out here who are have who have plus 10 fights are eligible for. But this 6-fight fighter, this sub 10 fighter, fights Marie-Pierre Hole for this fight. Now I looked up Marie-Pierre as well. Goodness, where's my I had to look her up, you guys. Where is she at? Y'all made me miss my page because I'm looking up these little people for my guests coming in, and goodness, y'all done made me lose my page, lose the spot on my page. Who's she fighting? All right. All right. So Marie-Pierre Hole is 8 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw, and she's out of Canada. The funny thing about this, though, I mean, I guess after I left, right? Because welterweight was like, I was in Canada for years, and no welterweights would come up out of the ground. There was nobody, and all of a sudden, there's a welterweight who's now ranked #1 in Canada and #8 in the world. Okay. And this broad has this broad's debut was in 2019, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23. This broad been fighting for 4 years. Okay. And from what I understood, because I've been around for a while, I've been around. She's out of Quebec. I don't think this Mary Pierre has much of a background in boxing. Go fig. She's uh, she's 32 years old, right? So I'm not talking about Sandy Ryan, who y'all see on here. And my bad. I thought, oh, maybe we should feature Sandy. Mary Pierre Hole as well. But on second thought, this broad ain't really done anything for me to feature her, right? So the reason why I'm featuring Sandy Ryan is that Sandy Ryan, it looks like that they're trying to make her into something. They're trying to she's kissing a couple frogs out there, right? Because at with only 6 fights, and she's up to be a world, have the opportunity to be a world champion. It ain't because this broad can fight. I can tell you that much, right? She can do something else very well, right? But it ain't boxing. I'll tell you that. And it ain't fighting. I'll tell you that, because 5 fights, 6 fights with 2 KOs, right? And the thing about it is, Sandy Ryan, you know what I'm saying? She ain't really fought. She ain't really fought anybody. She ain't really fought anybody that she wasn't supposed to beat. Okay. I see on her record she fought Anai Sanchez, who is a padding mint, Patricia Paddington, right? She is a padded fighter, who is also a high end opponent. Okay, so Anaya Sanchez has Katie Taylor, Jessica McCaskill, Chantel Cameron. She has losses to all of these broads on her record, but she hasn't won against any contender who is, who is anything to speak of. So, it just says Okie-Doke all over it, right? It says Okie-Doke all over this one, right? And I'm just not having it. I'm not going for it. Like I said, there's just this in women's boxing. This is the time where the contenders, the real contenders, need to be making money, right? I don't know what this she looked like. She looked like she might be good at a lot of things, but it ain't that she's doing that good, or she's that good in boxing to where at 6 fights she's fighting for the WBO title legitimately, right? That's some bull. That's some Okie-Doke. That don't make no sense. Okay. And I'm calling everybody on it, right? Y'all need to know this. Um, and so Michael Orr says this is on the undercard of Shah Shavakadazan Rakhmov versus Joe Cordina at the Cardiff International Arena on Saturday, April 22nd. Yes, you're right, Mike. Marie Hole has only fought in Canada and Mexico. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all do the homework on that one because I ain't finna waste no more of my time. Okay. Marie Hole is, unfortunately, this is the case with a lot of female fighters out here. Um, she does want to be a fighter. She does want to be a champion, right? And the the right way of development no longer exists, especially in women's boxing, right? So now people, as you can see, like a Sandy Ryan, now you can see where people are with sub 10 fights are jumping over contenders heads into world title contention. It doesn't even make sense anymore to be ranked. Does it even make sense anymore to you know to go through the process in becoming a legitimate contender for a belt when you can pay, right, or play your way to the opportunities that people who work hard, proper contenders, people who have skin in the game and have been in the game, have time in the game and have been in the game, that should be getting paid, should be on these platforms. Like, does it make any sense? Like, y'all in women's boxing out there, there's people who are in women's boxing that may be watching the Shook Show, may not be, right? But y'all are a part of this bull jive because y'all don't speak on it, right? This is great. Everybody's right. This is some crap, and we need to talk about it, right? And we need to have people need to have the heart to fight for what's right in this industry if y'all really about this industry, right? Sugar talks about this industry, and Sugar's done. I've done things. I've made history. I've put myself out there, right? To make history, so my industry goes further, right? So chumps like this can have the opportunities, right? So, but when I sit back and I see that it's the chumps that are getting the opportunities instead of the contenders out there who are sacrificing, who are working, who have put their time and their blood in the game, it angers me, right? So it's Mike and Bonquiqui and all of y'all who might be impressed with these broads who are hungry like you. Like, I ain't never seen no, to be honest, and I love it. I love it too, but at the same time, really, I never seen you could feature a broad every week. Every week there's a hungry bitch out here that's gonna make it and that's trying to make it. Please, right? That we've got to put we've got to put some establishment in what we do, in what this game is, right? It ain't just a subject or a topic. It's a life, right? Sugar has her show, so Sugar goes on these tangents. But this is a life and it's a culture, right? So these shows that are about women's boxing, that features women boxing, right? There's a lot more behind it. It's a culture. It's not just about any broad that want to interview, right? We got enough shows about that shit. That's why I don't interview nobody. That's why the only people that come on the only people that come on the Sugar Show are the real hitters in the game, whether I like them or not. The real hitters, right? Because I ain't got time, right? And I'm not going to show. I ain't got the time, and I'm not going to waste y'all's time, right? I've been out. I've been there. I've been out here. I've been a hungry broad, right? And during my time, it wasn't just about, oh, I'm gonna make it. I didn't get my first spotlight until I did something. It wasn't enough to be hungry. It wasn't. I had to show why you need to look over here. And it wasn't easy. What a time. What a time to be a fighter. Right? It would be an insult if somebody went on a show and matched Sugar up with some little person. That would actually be an insult, not even a joke. Because people knew what Sugar was capable out there, right? So it would literally, if so, it wouldn't be a joke, it would be laughing at somebody's murder, right? Because that's what Sugar was trained to, and Sugar was trained to destroy whoever was in front of her, just like the real fighters used to, like the Ray Leonard, the Tommy Hearn, the Wilfredo Benitez, even my trainer Johnny Gant, right? The fighters before that, right? My Coach Serge up in Canada, right? Old school. He laughs and he's a funny guy. But when it's time to train, he may be laughing, but he's training you to destroy whoever comes in, whoever decides to stand in front of you in that type of way, right? So it's not funny. So when you have somebody, you talking about Devin Haney versus this little person, that just shows you how much respect there is out there for these fighters now with these names. None. And I ain't got no time for that. We can talk and we can joke or whatever, but I ain't got time, right? It would be cute though if you pulled one of them funny matches out your ass about, a small, a little lady, a little person, woman versus one of these women champions, and see, what that would be, right? Well, I guess it would be fun or funny, but even doing that in women's boxing is really no entertainment in that, because that broad got just as much of a chance as the broad she's fighting, the way this shit gets set up, right? A broad with only 6 fights about to be fighting to be world champion against somebody who's never left her damn backyard. This is what's happening in women's boxing. There's no longevity in this, and money is being paid for this. The WBO sanctioning body, right? Because I explained this in a previous show. Y'all check out the previous Sugar episodes. How much money goes into paying for these sanctioned matches? You know what I'm saying? It's money, right? They put money on somebody with only 6 damn fights to be a world champion. Why? How? Why? I've seen this broad fight. I've seen her fight. Next, girl, whatever you doing, you better do that shit to me too, because it ain't your boxing. I'm gonna need something for this, for this money and this time I'm wasting. Um, let's see. So Michael Orr says Ryan is a matchroom prospect. Eddie is moving her quickly and strategically. Tell me what the damn strategy is, Mike, because I don't see it. And I ain't new to this. I'm true to it. I'm true to this game. Where the hell is the damn strategy? Right? She need to tell me what the hell her strategy is for getting where she at so quickly. Because it ain't boxing, I tell you that. It's just not box. It's just not because she's a good boxer. She must got that ill nana. Listen, stop it. Let me see what this thread looking like. About my father's business, saying Sugar's the forerunner. But you done know. You done know, right? Y'all been known, right? I came in this game. I ain't coming here to be nobody. Sugar, right? I came in this game because I respect it. I'm a woman that likes to behave badly, and I want to be one of the best ever who did it. And I am. I am. Google me, right? You don't buy, nobody gives you a chance to go to the world championships. You don't buy that medal. You got to fight and win it. I was the best in my town. I was the best in my region. I was the best in my country. And I became one of the best in the world. I ain't paid for none of that. It was no sanctioning for that. It was blood, sweat, and tears. That's why I'm in the game. Okay? And that's why I can talk about this stuff. Right? A belt is one thing. Right? I respect Clarissa Shields. I respect these broads that came out of the Olympics for that. Right? But I will always say, right, it's the ones who did it without paying their way. It's the ones who earned it, right? I was one of them who earned it. Michael Orr says Ryan is a 6-year team Great Britain amateur standout. Okay. Great Britain, you say? Great. It ain't her boxing. I'm sorry. Not at no 5-1 with 2 KOs. Have you seen this broad's record? Right? She's not even stopping who she's supposed to be stopping. She's not even fighting who she's supposed to be fighting. Right? Ain't no strategy behind this. Right? You ain't going to put powdered sugar on a turd and tell me it's a donut. And I think this is some Okie-Doke that they trying to sprinkle powdered sugar on. That's what I say, right? I don't doubt that this broad can box, right? She was on Team Great Britain for 6 years. She was on Team Great Britain for 6 years. Did she go to the Olympics? Is she a world championship? Did she have a title? As a Great Britain standout, did she have an international title? Was she a world medalist? Let me know. Michael Orr said that's why she's getting this opportunity. No, just because you was on, no. When you get to pros, Michael Orr, you press the reset button. You don't bring shit that you were in the amateurs into the pros. When I came into the pros as a world champion amateur, I had to hit the reset button. All of us do. Right? She is not a celebrity like that. It ain't her boxing. Right? That is not why she has the opportunity. Mike, Mike, don't be a part of the problem. Right? Pros and amateurs are completely different too. Right? So how do you jump over the heads of contenders, of professionals who have been around, right? Who have the experience and have the numbers, right? To become to get the spot to be a world champion. It doesn't make sense. She needs to fight. If that's the case, she needs to be fighting her way up the rankings. Beat all them bitches up. Beat all of them up. Right? And by the time you beat all of them up, I'm sure you'll have more than 6 fights. And then we can justifiably say, okay, give her a belt, give her a world, give her a world opportunity to fight for this belt, this world title. But just because you was an amateur this and that don't mean that you get to jump over people's heads in professional. These are grown-ups, right? This is where you earn your living. To become a contender, you have to build yourself. You have to build a brand. Your record is your brand, right? Your receipt is your brand. The caliber of people or items on your receipt reflects the brand of fighter that you are. And the brand of fighter that you are puts you in the rankings to hold something as prestigious as a world title. She is not even branded as a professional. She's not even branded as a professional. It doesn't work like that, my friend. Let's see. Bonquiki, how strong was Prime and Wolf final form? Bonquiki, I don't know what that question means, but I would have loved if you was there to find out if you would have went a couple rounds with Prime and Wolf final form to find out. What, Brooke? Hey, Brooke. Brooke came in talking about what up, Suge. Hey, Brooke. Girl. How you been? I've been trying to stop in to see what one of your shows. I know you got all them gals coming in talking about what they did in the industry in boxing, right? I'm glad that you on here and talking up Brooke's show. I think Brooke's show is on Tuesday nights. Check out Brooke Dorf's segment on Tuesday nights, where she interviews women boxers from the past, right? Present. So a lot of the fighters, you get to meet some of these gals and you get to see if you like them or not, right? Brooke D gives you the opportunity to come to be up close and personal. Get on one of them shows and ask them broad some of these real questions out here, right? Because yeah, Brooke don't pull no bullshit either, right? Go on the show, ask these questions, right? Now they're brave enough to speak directly to the public. Go and ask them why they think and who they fought that would make them believe that they are world champion worthy, right? So, these are great opportunities that Talk and Fight gives you guys to really interact with this talent out here, right? Just like I appreciate Talk and Fight for giving Suge the opportunity to really say what she needs to say what others are too apprehensive to say about what these fighters are and what's going on out here in the business, because I really don't need another friend. Okay. And it ain't about being friends or not. It's about this industry is cut and dry, right? Either you're doing it or you're not. If you're bullshitting, you're not doing it. And somebody needs to hold y'all accountable for this out here, right? And I'm sorry to say, I'm using my platform to do that. And anybody can come on the Sugar Show. Even y'all out there that y'all may not like what I'm saying, come speak your piece. Right? Suge may not know the real story. Come on here. It's a no judgment zone. Right? I've been told like that. I'll take a good telling. Okay, tell me what's really going on out here and what's really up. Right? Answer the questions. Let us know. Tell Sugar what it really is, because I know what it is. Right? Michael Orr says it's to get belts. Okay, it's not about to get belts now anymore, right? We don't want to just get belts. It was never really about getting belts in boxing, if you understood the history, right? Boxing started off with who was it? Who was the first? Sullivan? What was, y'all? Let me Google, or Mike, maybe you can Google for me. Who was the first prize fighter? First prize fighter. Yeah, first prize fighter. I'm just boxing. I don't see I don't see. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more, like a little bit deeper. But let me tell you something. If it's we talking about the question, it's kind of like it's like the question, who came first or what came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg came first, right? Before you could call that mofo a chicken, it had to come out of something, which was the damn egg, right? So I said that to say this. A champion was a champion before the damn belt was made. The belt wasn't made first. The champion was made first, right? And the intention was that I'm going to whoop every ass in this general area. And y'all know that I'm the baddest mofo around. That's how this whole thing started. Right? So it's not to get belts. We're losing the culture of what this whole thing is. It's to be the baddest. It's to be the best. Right? It's to be the strongest contender, the most noteworthy. Right? And everyone is in agreement because you've gone through everybody. That's where the respect comes from as a fighter. That person legitimately beat me. So if that person beat me legitimately, that is the mofo. That's a bad man. That's a bad gal. Broad. That's a bad broad. Yeah, she legitimately beat me up. I give it to her. Right? So is that what's happening? Is that what's happening here? 5 fights? I mean, 6 fights as a pro? Has she gone through enough people to say, oh, she's been through all the baddies? She deserves to be a world champion. Sounds like some Okie-Doke to me, and that stank. Next, we ain't even gonna read through no more, right? I ain't got no more time for Sandy. Lovely assistant, change the channel. Michael Orr says she's ranked #1 in the UK and #2 in the world at welter with only 6 fights. It's fishy. It's fishy now, Michael. Shit. It don't. That's that Okie-Doke. Whenever it gets fishy, whenever it gets stank like that. Michael Orr said Tuesday at that's the time. So Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. That is Brooke's show. So y'all tune in. And Brooke, I hope you shouting out sugar on your show. I hope so. Right? I'm plugging all y'all. Y'all need to plug Suge. Brooke says, Brooke, come in. Yes, girl. Hope to see you soon. Tuesdays at 8:30. Yup. No punches pulled with no mercy. I'm gonna try to get up there with you, Suge, and see if I can make some of your guests uncomfortable. Brooke said, what are you talking about, Ryan? Yes, I'm talking about Sandy Ryan. And as I've quoted Brooke D has said before, your shit ain't ready yet. And girl, if your shit ain't ready yet, what was a person, it'd be Sandy Ryan right now, because her shit ain't ready yet to be fighting for no damn world title at 6 with only 6 fights. Girl, go sit down. Michael Orr says on the 6th of January, 1681, the first recorded boxing match took place in Britain when Christopher Monk, second, the Duke of Albemarle. Okay, so back in 1861, so I don't know no belt, right? It wasn't no belt. He was a duke. He wanted to be the baddest mofo in his area in Britain. Okay? And he started putting them dukes up. That's where they started, I guess, boxing per se. Even though, if we want to get into real world history, I believe boxing is still the culture. There's a whole town in a country that's been boxing or has used boxing for way earlier than this Great Britain guy in Africa, right? I've been meaning to go there because it's a wonderful part of our history, and I'm going to claim that because they do, it is boxing. They're not kicking, they're not grabbing, they're striking. And I would say that's still one of the earlier archaic forms of our sport that's still around and that's still celebrated in its most authentic way culturally. It's wonderful. And like I said, I hope to witness it in person one day. Let me look this up real quick. Let's see. Let me look this up. Right. So where is it? Okay. And so it's in Nigeria, and it's called Dambe boxing. Dambe boxing. Okay. It's called Dambe, and it's martial art of the Hausa people of Nigeria, right? So it, like I said, it's wonderful. And I hope to one day go and witness it with these two eyes, because like I said, boxing is more than a belt. Boxing is more than this celebrity garbage and these soft guys now. That's, I got a headache. I can't fight. Oh, my mental. My daddy won't be in my corner. Like we got some real history for us to even entertain that part of it. Um, so Mike comes in saying the first recorded English prize fighting champion was James Figg in 1719. And the first official boxing rules, called the Broaden's Rules, were devised by prize fighter Jack Broaden in 1743. Look at that. And then it went to what we fight under now, which is the Queensberry rules, right? So they even had different rules, right? That people don't understand, right? So and I think that there were, that was their way of governing it until it's gotten to this point, right? Because the sanctioning bodies are governing things now, right? So it wasn't a belt, so to speak, back in the time. It was according to Broughton's rules, right? So you was whooping ass, or you won that fight according to Broughton's rules. Then, according to Queensberry rules, you whooped ass, right? So it just all depends, right? And so that's a good little snippet into the culture and how and the government of boxing, and where it's come to now. Um, Brooke No Mercy. Brooke D comes in to say, yes, girl. Someone asked about you yesterday, and I said Tuesday nights. Yes, girl. Um, Brooke, if they asking about me, send them to come see me on Wednesday nights at 7:30 on into the night, because I like to hit it down to the late hours. Yeah, send them my way, Brooke. Um, Yeah. So, and like I said, we got Champ. Brooke will tell you. And Brooke ain't going to sugarcoat it either, right? But Brooke might have to stay political, because, she talking to these broads out here, and she got to kind of be nice, right? But, I tell it like it is, Brooke. You ain't going to try to feed me. You ain't going to eat the turd with the powdered sugar on it, is you? Right? Like, what's Okie-Doke and what's real, right? And I'm glad that you're speaking on it. Um, and so Michael Orr says the Broaden rules were to stop deaths in the ring. How about that? So they were fighting to the death. Okay? This thing is serious. So it ain't about, can you imagine back in that time, and them guys saying about, oh, I won't fight today, I'm not mentally capable. They'd have probably shot his ass on the spot, right? This game right here is for the real. It's for the real. The Broaden rules to stop deaths in the ring, right? That's just to know. So, I mean, I guess the Broaden rules would have saved that little person. What's his name? that Bonquiqui is in love with, Hasbula. Um, the Broughton rules would have definitely saved Hasbula ass from certain endings, if he was to be matched up with some real killers in there. Um, Brooke comes in and said, I mean, Wednesday. I did tell them. Okay, then. Thank you, girl. Yeah, because I'll be sending them your way too. Brooke D says, I've already I've already pissed some off. I guess that we're gonna be on my show, and after I was on your show, they won't respond to me. So, Brooke, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Brooke, regardless, you're gonna be Brooke D, and regardless, we mess with you. Us who's real out here mess with you. So if they boycott you, they boycott themselves, right? Because you're providing them an opportunity to tell their story, right? So if they don't like what Sugar said about them, tell the bitch to come on your show and say something about it. I mean, stop it. Listen, I am the I y'all talking about where there's smoke, there's fire. Here go the fire, right? So if they don't like what if you came on my show and they don't like that you came on my show and what was said, girl, they wasn't messing with you in the first place. So they just use that as a reason, right? Because like I said, get on Brooke's show. If you wanna say something to Suge, you could come on Suge's show. Like I said, time and place 7:30, right? But and if you have a message to relay, I'm sure Brooke don't have a problem with featuring that on her show. And I'll get up with you, right? So that's how that works, right? That's why I said I don't need another friend, right? Because that's how that works. Crabs in a barrel, right, Brooke? Crabs in a barrel. But we're not going to focus on them. We're going to focus on those that are coming on your show and are making good stuff happen, right? With us women in women's boxing. I'm just so glad to see you out here, girl, doing your thing, right? And I'm glad that we out here working it together. Um Brooke D says they're giving belts away these days to fighters who are brand new with only a few fights and no notable fights on their records. It's a joke. We didn't have that in our time. This is Brooke D, who they tried the Okie-Doke. Mia St. John them tried the Okie-Doke Brooke D. Didn't know that Brooke D was about that life and was hungry, right? But Brooke D wasn't out there selling hype. Brooke D was in the kitchen chefing up so she could serve this broad some damn knuckle sandwiches. And didn't she do it? Girl, didn't you do it? And walked away with the broad belt? Didn't you do it? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Right? Where are the Brooke D's out there? Right? Right, who are stepping up, who will step up in somebody's chest, right? So I'm not out here, like I said, I'm not out here, I'm not talking bad about nobody, right? We don't talk with our mouth in boxing, we speak with these. What have you done? Who have you did it to? Right? And where did you go with it? That's what's going to tell your story, right? And now we got other women out here that'll let you tell your story, right? Michael Orr says the truth hurts sometimes. Don't dare hold back, ladies, right? But I ain't do it. That's the thing. The truth hurts, but it ain't me that did it to you, right? So don't make no excuse. I'm talking about, oh, you don't like what I say. I ain't making shit up. I'm not making nothing up, right? I'm speaking what you did and what you're doing out here, right? So with the Sandy Ryan thing, she's fighting for the WBO welterweight title. So I guess it is for real that Jessica McCaskill was stripped of all of her 147 titles because she was undisputed. That title had belonged to her with the three others. Okay, so low key. Now this is what I'm talking about. Okie-Doke. I smell it. It's strong in the air. Okay. This broad, Jessica McCaskill, done got stripped of all her shit, all the belts. She naked now out here. And it wasn't announced. It was just done. So I guess we figure it out. Oh, you don't have all the belts no more? Right? That's not how it works. Right? That's not how it works. So now it's Okie-Doke on all the desanctioning body parts. The body's part, because they just waiting for her to get her money back up so she could pay the bill again. Right? The Sandy Ryan, I guess she's out there for the WBA. They said, you know, the WBO, because which McCaskill owned one of those titles, right? So the WBO has now given this 6-fight fighter an opportunity to be a world champion and to hold their belt. Sandy Ryan and her people then must have said, oh, we'll pay the bill, and they're letting her do this. Right? And Sandy people, it's not that nobody else will pay the bill. They got the money. They got the bigger money to pay the bill. So now there's not that. I guess the WBO don't even care how many fights you have before you could be a world champion and own their title. Right? So do the belts in women's boxing, do the belts matter? If that's the case, do the belts matter? No. Not anymore. Okay? The belts not in women's boxing. The belts don't matter no more in women's boxing. You heard it here on the Sugar Show, right? You see what they doing out here, right? I tell you, if let me get a loan, let me get somebody. Let me shake my sugar and get some money so I could pay for one of these belts. Dust the gloves, dust my boxing boots off, and go in and pay for a belt, because I ain't nobody fighting no more, right? And I think I still got some bait that I can put on the end of my end of a hook, and get somebody to drop some paper on the things that I like and I want, you know. And Sugar got some talent too. Sugar ain't gonna do what it do. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna do what it do how these broads are doing it, right? Just to get a belt. I know I'm a badass, period. Like I ain't finna sell myself or no parts of myself to prove it. I don't have to. I've done it. Wait a minute. So Brooke D comes in and said, LM laughing my ass off. Girl, I guess I pissed them off. We were good then. They stopped reading and responding to my messages. Haha. We were talking about such fighter. Guess they weren't happy with what we said. Listen, like I said, Brooke, I mean, that's their way. Brooke, like I said, this game, we didn't do this. I don't know if you started women's boxing to be friends with anybody, right? I started boxing because I wanted to be the best, and the best recognize the best, right? I would never not talk to somebody because they were talking to somebody else about Sugar on the show. You know what I would do? I'd show up on their show. I say, yeah, Brooke, I ain't like what you said with Suge, because y'all got it wrong. This is how it went, or this is how I feel, and this is why I think y'all are wrong. I'm not going to play that punk game and say, oh, I'm not going to be on her show, bitch. Brooke, you doing them more of a favor than they doing you a favor, because guess what? Unless they a celebrity female fighter, don't nobody know who, ain't nobody trying to know who they are for too long. And we all know this in women's boxing, right? It's your peers that got to mess with you. Sugar's relevant because her peer, because other real women, other baddies in the game F with Sugar, and vice versa, right? You like, because it don't matter to me one way or another, right? I'm friends with some, I'm friends with some of them, and I'm not friends with some of them, but I respect all of them who have done these real things in the game. Okay, I respect the real. You done real, that don't mean we have to like each other, but I will commend you, and I will say, yes, that broad show did it. That's how that works. And we have to stick to that. We got to stick to it, Brooke. I don't want to hear you chasing after nobody for no damn interview. You Brooke D. They need to be lining up to be on your show. That's why I don't, I'm telling you, that's why I don't interview nobody. Their receipts speak for themselves. I don't need to talk nobody to nobody, Brooke. I read the receipts. Um, Mike Orr says Brooke is laying in wait like a lioness ready to eat. Um, Michael Orr says the problem is that weight class is all green. No, no, Mike, the problem is not that the weight class is all green. Nope. The problem is that they won't give the contenders in the weight class, the real contenders, any action. Only the green ones get action because the green ones can get fights. After you get to about 7 fights and you won't entertain being somebody's bait or meat or meat bag, if you're not entertaining that and you're still trying to be a contender, nobody's gonna fight you. If you're trying to avoid getting set up, you're not gonna get any fights because all you're gonna get is shitty contracts sent to you and shitty situations and shitty fights. So either you decide to be a name opponent, right? So a contender who has turned into a name opponent or a name gatekeeper, or you make all the money like these tomato cans make. The tomato cans are the ones that are making the money, right? There's the one over there in Bulgaria who I think she's not even 4-40. She's like 2-99. Yeah, right? She's making all the money. The contenders aren't making any money because these broads are not fighting the contenders. So what happened, which is what happened with Sugar, is they put you on the shelf until you become inactive and you fall out of the ratings. And when you become inactive now, okay, you got to do stuff to keep your bones hard, right? You might have to go back underground and fight underground, right? You may have to do other things to keep yourself in the game, right? And then they'll tap you when they think you're soft, or they think, just like what happened with McCaskill, right? And then on top of that, with me and McCaskill, and on top of that, what happened is I hadn't had a fight in those years, and they said, right, I was given somebody gave Suge up, right? Because I was going through some stuff too. These are all things that have something to do with a contender now being turned, or them trying to turn a contender into an opponent, right? So they did that, and then they put the weight to be much lower than Sugar's fight weight, right? So nobody's fighting. This is the point of view. You're not getting any fights, right? You're getting shitty contracts, right? And you've been on the shelf. So all of these things will make a fighter, right? Especially if they're surrounded by people who are not about their, about the best interest of the fighter's career, a contract comes in and they're like, take it, right? Especially if there's a decent purse attached to it, take it, right? So all of these things play a part in what you call it, in the movement and the career and the journey of a fighter. Okay, so it's not that the weight class is green. It's that they're staying away. They're not choosing the contenders, and they're making the contenders time out, and meaning inactivity makes you time out, right? And then they wait until you get nice and stale, then they bring you back in again, right? After their fighter has had enough fights where, the fighting feels natural and regular. And so when you come back in after a hiatus, it's like you're starting all over again. You're not in a groove. So what's going to happen? You're not going to look as sharp. You're not going to look as good as you would um, when you're in the same kind of when you're in the same kind of uh, place that the person you're fighting is in. So that's how they play this. That's how they play it in women's boxing. Mike, I want you, if anything, I want you to understand what was going on out here. And I want you guys to understand what's going out here in women's boxing, right? It's always been hundreds, thousands of women's boxers out here, right? Women's boxing has not been represented the way it should be. And that's why I have this platform. That's why Brooke has her platform. That's why us who have been through the game now have a platform for people to talk about, for other women to come and talk about it, right? My platform is just a little bit too harsh, right? Because like I said, if you come on my platform or if you come on my thread, I'm gonna ask the questions. We're gonna talk the talk. If you want to go back and forth with me, we're gonna go back and forth, right? But we're gonna get to a resolve, and y'all are gonna get the most authentic part of me, an authentic part of the other person, the other broad or person that has been a staple in the women's boxing industry. You're going to get the authentic version and authentic story there on the Sugar Show, right? That's why, like I said, only the real one. Laura Ramsey came on the show, came on my thread. Brooke D came on my thread. Chevelle Hallback came on my thread. Okay? I ain't asked them. They showed up. Why? Because they real. And why? Because they'll tell you. They'll tell you what it is. They'll tell you what they did. And there's no making up of any stories about what they did. And they'll speak on the items on their receipts. They ain't scared of no sugar. And they not, whether they dislike sugar or not, they respect that it's going to be real on here. Brooke D comes in and says, did they strip her for sure? They were supposed to. Brooke, Sandy, and I checked BoxRec, Sandy fighting for the WBO. So I know for damn sure she got stripped of one of them belts, right? So it's the WBO belt that Sandy Ryan's fighting for. And she's fighting a very low grade challenger for this belt as well. So, the WBO then sold and showed what they really think this thing is, right? Jessica McCaskill got stripped. She's supposed to be this great champion, and the next person who gets to fight for this title that she held has only 6 fights, and she's fighting someone with a padded record. That's letting you know the caliber of woman champion coming out of the WBO sanctioning body. I don't know if I would pay money for that. Michael Orr says too many sub 10 fighters in the ranks. All right, now a lot of sub 10 fighters are in the ranks because, like I said, they're the most active ones. When you're sub 10, you're going to be active because you can fight tomato cans because people chalk it to experience. You could fight and you get fights, right? That's why I don't talk to sub 10s. When you're fighting 10 plus, now I know that you in this game. Now I know you going through. Now you getting the breaks, right? And now I know you got something to tell me. So too many sub 10 fighters in welter. That's what Michael Orr says. Michael Orr also says, that's what I've been saying, sugar. Michael Orr says Brooke is Miss Hall of Fame. They should be thankful for the invite. And Michael Orr also says tomato cans making steady paychecks. Bars. I saw somebody back here. Oh, Omar Johnson chimed in and said, everyone leave a like on the video for sugar. Y'all don't forget to do that. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to do that. Right? I mean, we ain't going to pay attention to that. Like, I should got the haters. Listen, it should got the haters, but guess what? They've been fighting to stay afloat. Should just sitting back and getting her feet wet while they's trying to stay afloat. I've been in this game for too long. Right? I've been in this game for too long. Right? So, like, I ain't doing it for the likes, really. And I ain't doing it for, I love the likes and I love the views. Y'all see me now. I'm so comfortable with y'all on here. They're going to have to pay me money. Sugar babies. Coincidentally, that's one like my favorite candy. Sugar. So, yeah, like, subscribe, and share. You know, lovely assistant, please put, because I want to say what I have to say. And we gotta end the show. No, that ain't, there it is. Michael Orr says, I'm jealous. I want some. Mike, you know you could get all of this sugar you want. You just won't come and get it. That's what your problem is. I don't know if you're scared or what, but you won't come get none of this sugar. Anyway, so these two fighters are these Michael's talking about address, please. All right, now, Mike, you get it. You definitely get it. But we want to talk about these two fighters up here. So we got Natasha Jonas and Katie Taylor. And the reason why Natasha Jonas and Katie Taylor are on here on the slideshow is because looks like Natasha went and used this opportunity of Amanda falling out to stick it, to put a stick and say, hey, I'll fight you. Katie, listen, how you gonna have a big card like that and not fight? Huh? You have a big ticket and not fight. I'll fight you, girl. We could do it in your backyard. We could do it in mine. Right? But it doesn't sound like, I mean, Katie Taylor has no, yeah, y'all, I don't know. Right? She was a darling. She is a darling. She had my heartstrings as an amateur. And, you know, all her stuff coming up. And being that she ain't the first Irish broad to make a name in boxing, right? But she became the darling, right? So, okay. But we grown now. We all growed up now. And her personality in the professional boxing is non-existent. Katie Taylor has no personality. I can't even think. I can't. I don't even remember. I can't remember which the last thing the last relevant thing Katie Taylor has said in women's boxing, right? And she's a darling, I'm sure. I'm sure she's a darling, but I mean, I can't tell. You gotta have personality. If you're say something. If you're a champion and all of this, and then say something. Say something. If the fight fell through, I don't want to hear an announcement. I don't want no email. I want you to say it. I want you could have phoned it. You could have put it out there on with the live face and say, "Hey y'all, hey fans. I'm Katie Taylor. I won't be fighting on May 20th. We've got some things to sort. But I'll see y'all when I'm in the, next time I'm in the ring." Something, right? She hasn't announced, she hasn't said anything. And I'm supposed to buy a ticket for that? I'm supposed to fight a ticket to see her fight? Bitch, please. No. But I like the opportunity. I like how Natasha Jonas took the opportunity to say, hey, if you really want to fight, I'll fight you. I like that. I like that. Right? Natasha Jonas, she ain't as she ain't as spicy as a Clarissa. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't as crafty as who else do I like? She ain't as crafty as my girl Ebony Bridges, right? Because Ebony Bridges, I like I like how crafty she presents herself and she speaks out there, right? But she does say what needs to be said, and she does strike when she needs to strike, right? And I see the realness in that, and I appreciate it. Okay, so Katie, look, you got a fight out here waiting, and it would be a pretty decent matchup, right? I know people are going to talk about, oh, that's not her weight class. Well, now, to her and Natasha Jonas was the same weight class at one time, right? So maybe Katie can go up a couple pounds. She's supposed to be good pound for pound, right? Katie's supposed to be the best pound for pound according to some rankings. So this broad can go up a couple pounds and test out the theory. I'd say. What? Lady Ram Laura, I'm supposed to get up with you, girl. We're gonna talk very soon, okay? Sugar been busy. You don't know they tying me up over here. Laura Ramsey comes in, Lady Ram checking in with Brown Sugar. Yo, Lady Ram, champ. I got some good stuff too. We're gonna talk about it, right? You're gonna catch up. I promise. Don't be mad at your Sugar, okay? That you Lady Ram, she cray, but she know I'm cray too, and then the cray get the two different crays get together, and it's just insanely good stuff, and y'all finna see what we do soon, and very soon. Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. Michael Orr says her trainer said either Taylor or Shields, she's ready. So Michael Orr says Natasha Jonas will fight Katie Taylor or Clarissa Shields. She's ready. Natasha Jonas trainer need to shut his damn pie hole, right? Because one fighter is significantly smaller than the other fighter, and you can't talk that shit, right? And it's okay. You see what I'm saying? This that bull jive that I'm talking. This that stankin' Okie-Doke I'm talking about. Her trainer said either Taylor or Shields, she's ready. Well, how about another contender? How about we fight? How about we bring a killer from the, you know, from the sea of sharks that's out there and fight them, right? This celebrity matchup, it's just it's right up there with that Jake Paul shit. And you seen what happened to Jake Paul, right? Somebody who actually kind of, is in boxing finally beat him. He just finally got beat by somebody who was a real boxer. Um, right? So let a real trainer answer the question, Michael, or because Natasha Jonas, I don't know what her trainer talking about. Is either she's ready for it's either or either she's ready for Taylor or she's ready for Carissa, because there's two different preparations there. Yeah. It's not either one or the other. Anybody can get it, right? This ain't pum pum, right? Pum pum is the only thing that uh is ready at any time. Y'all, listen. This the Sugar Show, and it's getting late, and y'all got me on here talking about some real like it's getting real naughty, right? But like I said, I'm gonna say it again. On only the good stuff, only the goody good, only the coochie coo's ready for anything big or small. um Without preparation. Well, and son, we love the prep. We love it when you prepare it too. Like, anyway, let me stop. Michael Orr says she's putting on an event. Yes, so Laura is putting on an event, and there's also like some really good stuff in the works. With regarding the future, and I love how you know fighters like Laura and other fighters out here are coming together, other women in boxing are coming together to do something about what our industry is right now, and really now showing up on the other levels, because we're that's where we're going to really change the game. um yeah, so in 2 weeks, Lady Ram got this thing going on, and Carice, Taz, so Taz, you on here too? Taz talking about stopping by to say, hey champ, just leaving training. Yes. So and y'all, I've said it too about this one. Mike featured her, Taz the Golden Child. Okay, so Taz is out here, and I think Taz is fighting in Australia soon. Okay, and Taz is a fighter, a protege of the Ram, right? And the Taz will go to anybody backyard and put down, right? Taz is out there. Taz is fighting. Taz been doing that ever since she was a greenback amateur. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that. I like how champ Lady Ram is developing these talents coming up, and all the best with what you got going on coming up, Taz. Right, I'm looking forward to your performance. I am. um So Michael Orr says CMOAC. I don't know. Y'all know I don't. Y'all know I'm not good with the acronyms. Okay. Carice says, "Hey, Michael," and put the wave sign. Bonquiqui is back. Bonquiqui talking about this is a 24-hour stream. I don't know. Stick around long enough, Bonquiqui, and we shall see. Michael Orr says, "I can't wait to see you fight on Lady Ram's card." That's going to be a good show. That whole show is going to be a good show, y'all. Bonquiqui said that painting in the background looks cool. I'm glad you like it. Michael Orr says, "I'll shoot you a message and arrange something, Taz." Awesome. So y'all making deals on the sugar show. Okay. Then like this is where stuff is, this is where stuff can get done. Taz says, yes, Mexico March 18th and then Australia April 1st. So, Taz is in action. Y'all check it out. Might feature her again on that Women Wednesday. And I hope Brooke D gets Taz on her show as well. Y'all gotta like this broad. Get to know these broads, okay? So we got something to talk about on the sugar show after the performance because Taz, you better leave it there in the ring. You better act up in that mofo and behave really badly. So Sugar got something good to say, right? I'm looking forward to it. Michael Orr says, "I'm inviting her on my show." Excellent, right? So yeah, with these two on here, that's what Natasha Jonas and Katie Taylor. That's what that's what the image showed. Katie, there's always that fight. Okay, a lovely assistant. What's the other? Okay, so look, y'all, and so I had to show this too. Y'all are looking at Heather Hardy right here. Okay, for my people listening in, Heather Hardy just had a fight. And I think she just fought to stay active. She fought abroad in the game named Tayana Cardoso, who is 5 wins, 2 losses. Okay. But Heather Hardy is 24 wins and 2 losses. Okay. So I hope you see now. This is a prime example of what goes on in women's boxing. So now Heather Hardy ain't find nobody who had +10 record, right? Heather Hardy is staying busy with somebody who's a sub-10 fighter. And these sub-10 fighters step up because they feel like they really have a chance. And some of them do, right? But politically, if you're fighting a branded fighter like Heather Hardy, right? There would have to be some Okie-Doke or shenanigans on your part to beat a fighter like this, right? Sonya Drayling, for instance, somehow beat a legendary Chevelle Hallback with I think she only had 6 fights at the time. So, I mean, these things happen, but you ain't finna beat no damn Heather Hardy in no New York and no Brooklyn. That's for damn sure. She is the queen over there in them parts. Okay. So Heather Hardy is a name in the game, and she's an Irish gal. Okay. She sports her Irish culture very, very proudly. Lovely assistant. Give me another. Let's pan on to the next image. All right, so there she go, looking as hot as she want to be. Look out there, right? So she got the Clark, what is it? What you call it? Who is Superman girlfriend, right? Superman is Clark Kent when he wasn't Superman, right? who was it? Who was his girlfriend? His loving Lois Lane. So I like to say this, I like Michael Orr comes in Lois Lane. I like to say that she got the Lois Lane swag right now with the glasses and the red lipstick and the blonde hair. She looks like a hot teacher or secretary or somebody, right? And she got her dukes up because she finna whoop ass. She's at a weigh-in and she got the black nice bodysuit, leotard bodysuit. She's looking good. She's selling herself really nice in this image at this weigh-in here on the image that we have. So and that's what I like about Heather Hardy. She did very good. She's always done a very good job at marketing herself. I think she's right up there. Ebony Bridges has taken a page from her book, right? Because Ebony Bridges kind of reminds me, her swag kind of reminds me of Heather Hardy's swag, right? These youngins, they come up, they take some sentences, some chapters from the previous novels, right? So Heather Hardy is a novel in herself in how she came up. She has a great story. I think I may feature her sometime in the near future. But yeah, I would say this is where Ebony Bridges gets her swag from. Heather Hardy has made a name for herself. She has fought the likes of Amanda Serrano, which that was a super fight at one time, right? And I think a rematch with those two at this point would also be a pretty super fight, right? Laura Ramsey, champ, Lady Ram comes in and said, we agreed to the Hardy fight for Carice, the golden child, but what, Laura? What happened? Why the fight didn't happen between Taz and the Heat, right? Taz is Carice, the golden child, Taz, and is Heather the Heat Hardy, right? That would have been a great matchup. That would have been a pretty good show, even though I think Taz is sub 10. I think though Taz would be the fight would put more money in Taz's pocket when Taz gets to 10 plus, right? Taz versus Heather Hardy or Clarice versus Heather would be a better fight when Carice gets to 10 plus. Champ Ram, Carice shit ain't ready yet, right? She's a great, she has a lot of good potential, but let's not devalue Heather Hardy, who has some skin in the game. And, we want to build the wealth up. So it makes sense for Heather to take the chance to fight up and coming fighter like Carice, right? Because Carice really ain't got nothing to lose fighting Heather. It's still a step up, right? But Heather has her brand. It'll put a big dent in her fight, in her brand, if she comes out and looks bad versus Carice in a fight at any point, win or lose, right? So it's got to make sense for a fighter, for a branded fighter like Heather Hardy, right? So that's where we coming from with movements in the women's boxing game. We want to move. We want to move right, and we want to develop these prospects and these contenders to where there's longevity in their careers too, and there's money to be made. We're not fighting just to fight. And we're not fighting just to become a celebrity. It's making sense now. So, it's making sense. So Carice can feed herself and those around her, as well as Heather can feed herself and those around her when these matches do come together. Michael Orr says, she's looking good for sure. I guess he's talking about the picture of Heather. Yeah. right? And that's the thing about women's boxing. This is the part that we it's unique to us, where we can sell ourselves this way, and it's it works for us. And then this is another part of women's boxing to me that makes it interesting. So, lovely assistant, next image. Next image. Come on, come on. You asleep? So this is Heather's box rec. Okay, so I suppose it says 24 wins, 2 losses. I think those 2 losses was by Amanda Serrano, or at least one of them, right? But I mean, 24 wins. She's good to fight somebody with 4 KOs. Katie, hey Katie, you can go. You can fight Heather Hardy. Why not? She's only got 4 KOs, right? So you know, it ain't that there's no matchups out here, right? Now they're starting to try to make make celebrity women's boxers. They're bastardizing women's boxing, and we must stop that. Those in the game who take it seriously, who's real, right? Us women, because as someone who is a fighter in the game, who's now, you know, evolving into other things in the game, if there is no longevity, if there's no way to continue the abundance and the cash flow and the money, then it's not gonna be anything that is worthwhile. Like our history, it's gonna disappear. um Michael Orr says Heather Hardy lost to Serrano, then Camara. Oh, so Heather Hardy fought Jessica Camara. Ain't that something? um in that child, Serrano's got it, but Camara, poor thing. She just can't. She can't. She just can't catch a real ride. She's done gotten all the breaks, but she ain't staying on that. Jessica Camara has gotten breaks after break after break, but she just ain't staying on the rides for too long. But you got to know the industry to know why that's happening. You got to stay in the industry to know why, you know, those things happen to fighters like Jessica Camara. Um, and so, oh, so Heather Hardy fought Amanda Serrano and then Jessica Camara back to back. And Jessica Camara is a bigger fighter, right? So Jessica Camara was a bigger fighter fighting a small fighter in Heather Hardy. And Heather Hardy showed her range where she's stepping up. So she stepped up to fight, what was, I guess, because when Camara first bust, everybody thought she was the second coming, right? Because she has that look, right? She looks scary, I guess. But I'm sorry. I had to do the evil cackle because me and that one got some history. But yeah, that was another one that she didn't come up authentically. And then Michael Orr said then she won her last two. Okay. So do I have any more pictures or images, lovely assistant? Put me on nice and big if it's over. Right? Because we want to end it. I think that's it. Ain't it? I'm nice and big. So that means that's it for the Sugar Show tonight. Y'all, I thought it was going to be a short show, and look at it. We had a little party. People stopped in, people chimed in. I gotta give my shout outs. Okay, so I'm gonna shout out my host, right? Then always, I'm shout out Michael Orr for checking in. Thank you, Mike, for coming in to see Sugar about my father's business, for always showing respect and showing up. Okay, then we got Bone Quee coming in with the jokes and whatnot. I got you. Cedric Sports Training coming in. Y'all check my guys' segments out on Sundays, okay? Then we got Eddie Barrington coming in with your success. Yeah, Eddie. Always coming in and treating me so nice, okay? And then who else we had came in? Who else we had coming in? I'm just going through the thread, y'all. And then we have Brooke D coming in. Y'all check her out on Tuesdays. Okay. All right. Omar Johnson. Hey, boo boo. Thanks for checking in on me. And thanks for always reminding everybody to leave a like on the video. Okay. All right. What else? Who else we got? Then we had Champ Laura Ramsey checking in. Okay, this is a real champ. Like I said, I don't ask. They just show up, right? Because like I said, you know what? This the real, and we can talk the real, right? Back and forth, one-on-one. We 100 up in here. And then we had Carice Taz, which is a contender coming up, right? Got fights coming up as early as March. Y'all do some homework. Check her out on the Michael Orr show and on the Brooke D show. Okay. And that's it. It says thank you, Champ. Champ Laura says we love the Sugar Show, and we love champs like you, Laura. We love the real champs that's doing. Let me tell y'all something about Laura Ramsey. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end the show by y'all gonna know about this one. This how Laura Ramsey changed the game. All right. Laura Ramsey came in the game when people would consider a woman older or past her prime. Laura Ramsey showed that what the real maturing of a female fighter is in the industry, because she came in the industry in the woman in the prime of a woman, right? So me at the time when I saw this killer come on the scene, first of all, right, this killer coming, I call her a killer because Laura Ramsey has the thunder clap. Laura Ramsey had the gift of the KFO. She can knock you the fuck out. Clean, smooth, okay? Like, it's not tap. She ain't gonna beat you like a drum and then you fall. She got that pop. She got the dynamite in her fist. So when she came on the scene, it was around the time where Layla was still hot. But Layla wasn't touching no Laura Ramsey. The thing about Laura is Laura came up, Laura came out, she had a good amateur career, decent amateur career, had exposure, but Laura had the mentality of a broad from the trenches, okay? So she brought that flavor to the game. She brought that life of a woman, a broad, a crone in her prime, coming in this game and making a mark and making a name. And that's why Champ Laura Ramsey is significant. Okay. And that's why, she gets the respect, because not many there hasn't been anyone who has done it the way Laura Ramsey has done it since. Okay, and we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for fighters like Laura Ramsey. We're waiting for the fighters like Brooke D. We're waiting for fighters like, the older school that made marks, right? Not, not hype, but actually made a dent in this game, in this industry. And now that dent is something now someone can use to, build and climb up on. Okay. And on that note, I'm going to end the sugar show. Okay. This was a wonderful night. Thank you guys all for chiming in. All of y'all. Michael Orr talking about fighters like sugar. Thank you, Mike. I ain't want to throw that in there, but I really appreciate when y'all throw me in there too, right? Because you know, I always think shit. I learn more from these broads out here than I think I learn more from y'all than me feeling like, okay, I did this, right? I know my work and I know what I've done, right? But you know, it ain't too much over for me just yet. So thank you for acknowledging what I am so far and what I've done. I appreciate that. You guys. So, like I said, if like I said, if I want to come, I'm gonna come drop in with some of my peoples. I'm gonna come drop in with with Mike. Yeah, and Tim Witherspoon and Graham and them on Fridays, right? Maybe on Sundays with Seti and Mike again, right? I'm gonna try to stop in with Brooke, right? And ask some question to these broads out there. Make it nice and hot, right? We'll see. But if not, if I don't get a chance, cause y'all they got me tied up, right? Sugar stay busy, right? But if I don't get a chance to drop in there, y'all gonna see my face in the place on Wednesdays at 7:30, y'all. Okay. And next Wednesday, I will have a guest on the Sugar Show. Okay. Y'all just tune in, right? We're gonna all have a conversation on this show. It's gonna be live. It's gonna be a party. Okay. And I just adored what this individual has done for women's boxing. So stay tuned. Come on back on Wednesday. This face gonna be in the place for sure. May not be the same place, but you gonna always see Sugar's face. Okay, until then, be good out there. Okay, like, subscribe, and share. Until then, bye bye.